Xbox doesn't need JRPGs. JRPGs! They're not going to succeed on Xbox. This is an American company, baby. And they don't need JRPGs. In fact, if you bring JRPGs to Xbox, they'll fail. Well, we know that's nonsense. And that has been nonsense since the very beginning because the Xbox 360 had a ton of success with JRPGs, had a ton of success with Asian developers and Asian developed games on the Xbox. And oh, look, here we are again. Xbox looks to be having success, or rather, these games, JRPGs, are having success on the Xbox. I do want to talk about that today because I do think it's important for the future of Xbox. I think it's important for the success and the expansion of Xbox in Asia, in Japan in particularly. I think that a lot of companies look to games like this, look to instances like this, where Square Enix has brought Final Fantasy to Xbox. If it fails, you're not really incentivized to bring your game. Are you? No, you're not. You're going to bring your game, the ROI. You want to bring your game, your product, to the platforms that give you the largest return on investment. And so Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster succeeded. Remember, this game is not on Game Pass. It's succeeding. It climbing the charts is huge. And it's big, and it's good for Xbox. So let's talk about that. I do also want to talk about a controller that's coming from Thrustmaster. You know how much I like my controllers. It's claiming to end analog stick drift, which would be huge. I've had 3 Elite controllers, and I love the Elite controller. The third one I've had no problems with. It took two to get to that, though. So drift sucks, and if they can fix it, yes, please. And then last but not least, on the controller front, Apple is made available today some controller support, Xbox controller support on iOS devices, which I think is big. Before we jump into it, though, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time right here on this channel. What are we? Why would you subscribe to this? I think we represent the average gamer, the normal gamer, the normie gamer in all of us. And I don't think that we get that in the news very much. I don't think that we get that in professional games journalism. I think that they represent professional game journalists, and that doesn't always connect with those of us who are playing games and working and having real jobs. And not that gaming journalist isn't a real job, it absolutely is. But what I'm saying is we're not immersed in the weeds like they are. So that's what this channel is for. Hope you like it. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. We also have a Discord server. Come join us. We're building something special here. Let's jump into it, though. Here is the news story over at windowscentral.com. We love these guys. Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster titles climb high on the Xbox store, proving Xbox players actually do love JRPGs. There was an update, though, and check out this update. Recent update. Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection has shot up to first place in the top paid list in the Xbox store in Japan. Absolutely huge. This was written last week. On September 26th, Square Enix is starting to make good on its promise to bring more of its JRPGs to Xbox consoles by releasing the long-awaited port of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection during the 2024 Tokyo Game Show. Demand for this grand compilation of classic Final Fantasy games has shown to be very high, as 1 week after it launched on Xbox platforms, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection has been seen rising up to the 12th spot on the top played list on the Xbox store in the US. I am one of those people. I actually bought this right after it went on sale. I have jumped in. I've named my characters. I did get sidetracked with Thrones of Liberty. I did get sidetracked with Shattered Space. Both games I'm very much enjoying. And now Vessel of Hatred is dropping, but I do have this game. My plan is to go through all of them. I want to know the Final Fantasy franchise inside and out, and what better way to do that than to go back and play these classic games. And that's why I think there's a lot of people like me out there who have never really jumped into the Final Fantasy series and is looking like, okay, these have been, while it's the old school artwork, it's the old school games, they've been updated in a way that I can now play them on my big TV. They've been tweaked a little bit with some quality of life stuff that makes it a little easier to play some of these older games, and just to get the story down. And I'm very much looking forward to it. And I think that's why it's topping the store. We at Windows Central also checked the game's position on the Xbox store in other countries. While the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection only holds the 20th spot in the UK, that surprises me, because the UK, I think, is a pretty large JRPG community, but maybe not if you're not an Xbox holder there. If you're maybe not if you're an Xbox gamer, maybe you're not as much into JRPGs there. It has hit a high 13th spot on the Xbox stores in Germany and has been riding high on other countries when we've been able to check as well. Here is the tweet from Hazador Gaming. It hit the 12th top paid game on the Xbox store. Remember, paid games. This is not Game Pass. I think it'd be number one if it dropped on Game Pass. But I think people have been waiting. People have been itching. People like myself, I hear all the news about Final Fantasy. Now, I did play Final Fantasy 15, but that's really the only Final Fantasy that I've jumped into. I'm not a hardcore Final Fantasy guy, and I'm very much, like I said, looking forward to jumping into Pixel Remastered. Other games I've discovered since they've come to Game Pass primarily is the Persona series. Persona 5 and Persona 3. Have both of those. Love those series. Never played them before that. Largely just not something that's available on the Xbox. I think that there is definite desire, clearly, if these are ranking high, and a definite need for games like Final Fantasy, for games like the Persona, for what's the new game dropping from Atlas? Atlas's new game, Metaphor game that's dropping that had a demo this last week, and from what I hear, did really, really well. So I think that there's a place here. Now, why is this important? Do you think that success with like a Final Fantasy, does it matter in the long run? I think it does. I think it will lead to more JRPG developers supporting the Xbox platform. I think that that's huge. I think it will lead to furthering of relationships with these studios in places like Japan and China, in Korea, because they see that these games have success on Xbox, and that's key. You're not, like I said at the beginning of this video, you're not bringing your game to a platform that no one's going to participate on. You want to take the time, spend the time to develop and port your game onto a platform. You want that game to succeed on that platform. And so I think this is huge, particularly that it's such a big title with such a big backing. I mean, it's Square Enix, one of the biggest publishers out there, one of the top publishers in this space. It having success, I think, is big for classic JRPGs in particular, but more, it signals to everybody in this space, in these regions, hey, you can come have success on Xbox. We are for everyone. And so I think that this is going to pay off long-term huge. Again, we're going through a huge shift here in gaming. And Xbox developing these relationships and getting these games that traditionally aren't on their console. Not only that, but when you have studios and publishers like Square Enix, who traditionally allow their games to be licensed primarily to PlayStation exclusively, now saying, hey, we actually want to be on every platform. Again, the economics have changed for gaming, and the strategy has changed going forward, and I think Xbox is leading that strategy, and I think this is nothing but good news for Xbox 100%. Let me know what you guys think, though. Maybe I'm overstating this. Maybe it's no big deal. What do you think? I mean, it's not number one. It's number one in Japan, but that's to be expected. It's not number one in the US. It's only 12, top 12. I still think that's big. I really do. But let me know in the comments if you disagree with me, or if you agree with me. Let me know why. Let's jump over to the new controller. This is, and I do like this design actually. This is from Thrustmaster. You know how much I love my controllers. If I had unlimited money, I would own every special edition of every controller possible, and they would be on this wall behind me. And that's how you'll know. There will be signs. If I become a billionaire, there will be signs. I won't have to say anything. You'll just know, because my wall will be filled with badass special edition controllers all over the place. So this is the Thrustmaster. This is over at GameRant.com. Thrustmaster reveals Heart controller with Hall effect analog sticks. American gaming accessory manufacturer Thrustmaster has now opted to leverage this technology. This is they talk about the technology here. Let's talk about the technology right here. Thrustmaster has announced a new Heart controller for Xbox consoles and PC that promises to completely eliminate stick drift. Who has had stick drift issues? We all have. You play on a controller long enough, you're going to experience stick drift. There's nothing more annoying than stick drift, especially when you don't realize you have it and you're like, why can't I aim properly here? I'm the sniper king, baby. Why am I missing this shot just off to the left, up and left, barely? And then you figure out it's stick drift and it fixes all your problems, and you couldn't be more frustrated. In the simplest terms, a Hall effect sensor is a device that detects magnetic fields. This allows it to be utilized to create extremely longevous. That's a word. Longevous. What in the world? Just, can we say durable? Extremely durable analog sticks whose central components aren't in direct. This is what I mean. I represent the everyday man here. We don't use words like longevious. Have you ever used that word in your life? Maybe when you're picking up a lady. Totally get it. But outside of that, nobody uses that word. Just use durable. Extremely durable analog sticks whose central components aren't in direct contact, which would add to their wear and tear during use. Their shafts. Again, this article. This guy was just picking up the ladies. Their shafts instead have small magnets attached to them that move when the stick itself does. Perpendicularly placed Hall effect sensors near the magnets then detect their positional changes and translate that to controller input in a frictionless manner. Meaning that even if the joystick is off a little bit, the sensors are detecting that and then fixing it for you as your output. Super cool. Most modern solutions of this sort utilize 2 Hall effect sensors per stick, one for the X-axis and one for the Y-axis. American gaming accessory manufacturer Thrustmaster has now opted to leverage this technology while designing its newly revealed Heart controller. The gamepad incorporates Hall effect sensors that promise to be completely immune to analog stick drift, thus maintaining maximum precision over time. The controller's name is an acronym for Hall effect accurate technology. So Heart, I get it, HEART. Which is what Thrustmaster calls its very own implementation of these sensors. The Thrustmaster Heart became available to pre-order in early October 2024, so just about a week ago. Priced at $99, pre-orders are currently available through Best Buy and the manufacturer's own online storefront. Here's the controller right here. I like it. Not bad. I'm not sure I like these buttons, though. I'm not sure I like that. I do like the Xbox rounded buttons. But I mean, something that you can definitely get used to. I do like the design of this controller. I like that. Is that RGB down the center? I imagine it's not. I imagine it just glows down the center. I like the black and white hybrid right there. It looks really good. Not a huge fan of that D-pad, but to never experience drift at $99, do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I do, actually. I think paying $99 for a controller that you could get used to, that you could love and use and be guaranteed to never experience drift on those joysticks, 1,000% I think it's worth it. There's still no firm release date on this, just pre-orders are up. But yeah, also I like the way this looks. I want to see the back. They don't have any images of the back of it, but I mean, it's going to be pretty basic. You've got your triggers, you got your right bumpers there. I was curious if there was any like material change on that back end. If they're not showing it, then there must not be. Like what the Elite controller has. I love the Elite controller, like rubberized grips on the back there. That's nice. But the Elite controllers don't have this technology. I would be curious if the next version of Elite controllers do implement this technology to avoid that drift. That drift is annoying. 100%. Would love to know what you guys think. Has anybody pre-ordered this? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below, though. I do love the look of this. Whew. That does look good. And last but not least, let's finish on, speaking of controllers, this is over at MacRumors.com. Apple's latest operating system updates, iOS 18 and iPadOS 18 and macOS 15, bring notable enhancement for gamers, official support of the wired Xbox controllers. This is big. This is big because so for instance, sometimes I take capture of stuff that I need to online. You can't do it on a Mac. For instance, in a game, let's say I work for a mobile gaming company. If I want to grab smooth footage of something or scrolling a web page, on a PC, you can plug in a controller and you can use the joystick and you get a nice smooth scroll. And so when you record it, it's really smooth. It looks good. You can't do that on the Mac because they didn't support that. It now supports that. Very excited here. You can do that. Not only that, but obviously if it supports it, then you can plug it in and use it for gaming. GeForce Now, anyone? GeForce Now. It's a great way. You might say to yourself, well, wait a minute, the MacBook doesn't really handle games well. Even the games that say that they work on the MacBook Pro and on Mac period just don't work that well. And that's true. 100%. GeForce Now. Highly recommended to you guys. It's cloud gaming. It's $20 a month. It's like having a high-end ballsy PC right in your room. There is zero lag. It works fantastic. It works through your laptop, through your MacBook or your MacBook Pro or your Mac items, and now you can use wired Xbox controllers and you can game the crap out of your Mac devices. Anyways, would love to know, do any of you guys use Macs for gaming? Do you use controllers? Have you used the Xbox controller Let me know in the comments below. That's going to do us for today. But again, I just want to reiterate, I think this is a huge deal for Xbox, just that there are signals. And this is one of those signals, I think, to Asian developers, JRPG developers, that, hey, Xbox is a great place to develop your game. Game Pass is a great place to bring your title. There are people who want to play those games and will buy those games over on this platform. And I think that this is what this proves. And it's exciting. The future is exciting. We're at the dawn of the Xbox domination generation. We're at the beginning of it. And it's exciting to see. It's exciting to live through and be a part of. Like, subscribe. Join the community over on Discord. I'll link that in the comments. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.